It was the summer of 480 BC, and the Persian Empire, led by King Xerxes, was determined to conquer Greece. Xerxes assembled an army so massive, it took 7 days for them to march across a single point. The exact number remains debated. Some say hundreds of thousands, others claim over 1 million. Their goal? Domination of the Greek city-states. But standing in their way was a small force led by the Spartan King Leonidas. With just 300 of his best warriors and around 7,000 allies, Leonidas chose to make his stand at the narrow pass of Thermopylae, a location perfect for defense. The pass was flanked by the Aegean Sea on one side and steep mountains on the other. This natural bottleneck would force the massive Persian army to fight in smaller, more manageable waves. Leonidas knew that even with a small force, they could hold off the Persian advance if they used the terrain to their advantage. For the first 2 days of battle, the Persians charged relentlessly, but the Greeks held firm. Leonidas positioned his Spartans at the front lines, their iconic bronze shields and long spears forming an unbreakable wall. The Persians were unfamiliar with this kind of phalanx warfare and suffered heavy casualties. Even Xerxes' elite force, the Immortals, 10,000 of his best soldiers, couldn't break through. King Xerxes watched from a distance, growing more and more frustrated. His unstoppable force had been halted by what seemed to be an insignificant resistance. But this wasn't just any resistance. The Spartans were known for their rigorous training and iron discipline. From childhood, they were raised to fight and die in the name of honor and duty. To a Spartan, retreat was worse than death. But on the second night, the tides of battle shifted. A Greek named Ephialtes, motivated by greed or vengeance, betrayed his own people. He revealed to Xerxes a secret mountain path that would allow the Persian forces to outflank the Greeks. When Leonidas learned of this betrayal, he made the most difficult decision a commander could make. He ordered the majority of his Greek allies to retreat, knowing that they could not hold both the pass and the mountain path. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, along with a few hundred Thespians and Thebans who chose to stay, prepared for their final stand. On the morning of the third day, the Persians attacked from both sides. But the Spartans did not surrender. Outnumbered and surrounded, they fought with incredible bravery. With their long spears shattered from the relentless battle, they drew their short swords. When their swords broke, they fought with their bare hands. Every Spartan knew they would die that day, but they also knew that their sacrifice would be remembered for centuries to come. King Leonidas himself fell in battle, and the remaining Spartans fought fiercely to recover his body, refusing to let it fall into Persian hands. One by one, the Spartans were killed, but not before inflicting significant losses on Xerxes' army. By the end of the day, the battlefield was littered with thousands of Persian bodies. Though the Spartans were defeated, their courage and defiance in the face of impossible odds inspired all of Greece. Air stand at Thermopylae was not in vain. The time they bought allowed the rest of the Greek city-states to unite. A few months later, at the naval battle of Salamis, the Greeks would go on to defeat Xerxes' navy, turning the tide of the war and securing Greece's future. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans have become a symbol of courage and self-sacrifice. Their story has echoed throughout history, reminding us all that even in the face of overwhelming odds, bravery and unity can change the course of history.